If you ask me, fighting games are far and away the most amazing genre in all of gaming. They're fucking magical once you really sit down and get into the meat of these games. Once you actually pull the trigger and commit to one. But the one thing this genre fails to escape is the negative connotation around the word execution. What's good everyone, my name is Sen, welcome back to the channel, and for today's video I want to talk about that very misunderstood evil. Let's reel things back to as basic as I can make it. What is execution? Very broadly, execution is the ability to accomplish what your intended action is. Execution covers a very wide array of things, from basic movement to advanced strategy. It's kind of an umbrella term. The context in which we're referring to for today's video is of course looping things back into the grounds of fighting games. While the examples of movement and strategy do apply to execution in fighting games, people tend to most specifically relate it to combos and likely their inability to do them. If we're going to go to the furthest end of execution that I'm familiar with, oftentimes Street Fighter 4 is put under the microscope for its lack of accessibility in that regard. Fighting games in the modern day, including Street Fighter, have incorporated a buffer system to alleviate some of the strain that may come from attempting combos, specifically links. Regarding combo systems in fighting games, there are two primary types. One being the Gatling system, where you build your combos by doing attacks in sequence of your lightest attacks to your heaviest, with very minimal timing. Many fighting games have adopted this combo system, like Marvel, Dragon Ball, Melty Blood, BlazBlue, Under Night, and many more. Regarding the link-based system of combos, the prime candidate that I'm familiar with, as well as many others, is of course Street Fighter. Linking moves into a combo or on block is directly tied to the frame data of the game. Knowing what moves your character is stringing together in these instances to make combos work, or block strings tight, or leave a frame trap. So for instance, if I do a move with Ryu that leaves me plus 10, I should be able to combo a move that has 10 frames of startup on it. This is what is referred to as a one frame link, but this is Street Fighter 6, so between Street Fighter 5 and 6, they've given a level of leniency which is referred to as a buffer window. As long as you're close enough, the game will give it to you. I could be wrong, but I think the buffer system in Street Fighter 5 and 6 is an additional 3 frames, so it's more like a 4-frame link in all actuality. And while even a 4-frame link may be a little tough for the people that are unacquainted to the genre, you can play around with the structure of your combos to make them a bit more attainable. So instead of going for a heavy punch, we can make things a little easier on ourselves and go for a standing medium punch instead, taking that 4-frame link and doubling it. Now, the buffer system that's in these games doesn't exist in Street Fighter 4, which means if you want to hit these 1-frame links, you have to time them manually. This system of comboing is heavily criticized for being too difficult, especially for the new player. But as a player that's new to the genre, is your first instinct to go play Street Fighter 4? Probably not. More than likely, you're going to attempt to play whatever the newest title is in the franchise, and if that player wants to play Street Fighter 4, they probably have some reason as to why they would do that, and they very likely know what they might be getting into. If you guys have caught any of the recent videos on the channel, I've actually been learning Street Fighter 4 for myself, and I've really been enjoying my time there. Higher levels of execution doesn't bother me in the slightest. In fact, I love that because I have things that I can get a hold of right now that I like to do, and it just means that there's cool stuff waiting for me later. And if I happen to be in a match and I'm really feeling myself, yeah, I'll send it and try the hard combo. While there is tougher stuff and things to hit in pretty much any game, there's always easier stuff for you to get your hands on and get started. Just because a 1-frame link exists in your kit doesn't mean you have to go for it. Nobody gets mad at speedrunners for playing the game how they do, and some of these skips that they do require frame perfect execution. Just because at the highest level they're speedrunning the game in the way that they are means that you need to do the very same to get started. In fact, there's been a handful of characters over the years that I've picked up specifically because there was very cool points of execution for me to attempt to unpack as I became more and more proficient with them. So while I may have started out playing them relatively basic, it was awesome to have something to work for and look forward to as I progressed. You build up that time and practice until you feel confident to go for it in a match, and when you pull it off, you feel amazing. Some of the most iconic moments in the FGC are on the back of showcasing of expert level execution, and those moments are so impressive and we find ourselves in awe because of it. Just remember, execution is a spectrum, and while you might not be able to hit the highest level of it right now, doesn't mean you can't work towards that, and you don't need to be at that level to get started. Thank you all for watching. Just remember, in the genre exists all kinds of styles of games for you to try. Be sure to have fun and get ready for the next battle. I'm gonna go play some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Peace. Oh!
What are you saying?
Oh!